It is already working. It's farting.
Welcome to St. Louis, everybody. SpenVentures here, downtown on a chilly afternoon. Very cold, chilly afternoon. Only a high of 15 degrees as we stare at the Mississippi River and along the top the monument that is the Gateway Arch. We're going to make our way towards the arch, take some pictures, and do some SpenVenturing as we make our way back from Missouri to Nashville, country music city. One of the wonders of the world is
they built it. Each one was lifted on a crane, and then when they got the crane only so high, so they could go up maybe like 10 of them, then they had to build cranes that would attach to it, and then lift up higher and higher. And then they had to meet in the middle, in the fourth and final phase of the year in the building. They popped the last
and also
column where there was like where it just fit perfectly.
oh yeah, my good friend Dio.
Arch made to like
We're here and it's
sway and stuff, and it expands in the heat.
Yeah.
So I was watching this documentary on the way here.
What it did snow.
And they said they had to like
Same
then
thing.
move it apart with two
We're
cranes
all
at the very
Eskimos
top.
because
Like,
oh man, that
set up
went
their helicopters.
Oh no! Oh, my hand's frozen.
No, my hands are not.
My hand, yeah, I know. I would wear my gloves, but they're not text proof, so I wouldn't be able to work my phone.
Yeah.
So.
I have lots of pets.
But,
Could
oh my gosh.
Just ask me. I have like 100 pets.
Yeah.
With gloves, like 100.
In a second, I hope it is a second because I'm freezing. But
We're going inside for the museum part.
yep, we are. We're gonna go inside. There is a museum inside the Gateway Arch, and we are not making a snowman. But we are going inside the arch. I am freezing. And so we are going inside. There's actually a natural history museum from about the state animals of Missouri. So we're going to check that out too.
How it was built.
And learn how it was built. Exactly.
Oh, and stuff from Missouri.
From where?
From like
From
500 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And when Missouri became a state of the United States of America. Oh, wait,
They do. Your mom did this. Stay with me.
Now you're
right.
filming.
Yes. We are making our way down to the National History Museum here at the Gateway Arch. We're actually below the arch, underground. And I remember this. Yeah.
Look.
Explore St. Louis visitor information. So you can see we have a map here. All where we're right here.
Gate.
Bush Stadium.
Oh, yeah, there's a bus.
That's a baseball stadium. America Center. The Enterprise Center. That's where the St. Louis Blues play. Union Station. Which that has changed a lot since I was there. Of course here, this is where it all started. This is where St. Louis... This is where it all started, right here. Who lived here first? Mound builder. Lived at the confluence. You can't climb on it, Addie. Mississippi and Missouri rivers for thousands of years. Because mounds existed throughout St. Louis area, people call it the Mound City.
Or did we come down here?
Yeah, we did 2 years ago. Well into the 19th century. Look, it's Dio, Mackenzie. I think that's Addie.
What is that?
It's a shadow thing. I know, I was looking at you. Dio doing the gator chomp, which I don't approve of. Whoa, where'd he go?
Hold on your father. Do you see me?
Alright.
Hey.
Alright, so we are in the museum. Welcome to the museum. Where we first see colonial St. Louis.
I like
going in here. This is my favorite part. Look,
Where
that
we-
was the first house built here.
It was. This is the first house, as Mackenzie had just said, the Creole house model. Very first house.
That
Say-
was made.
Many St. Lucians lived in two-room houses. Skilled workers, logs directly unearthed with infill between the logs. Inside, you can learn more about the house inside the replica house behind you, right here. From 1764, 1804. Jeanette Fourchet. Born enslaved and end up with an estate. Jeanette Fourchet listed on the land survey as a free woman of color. Twice widowed, Fourchet took laundry, invested in property, and inherited lands of furnishings. She steadily built her own property, handled legal business. When Jeanette died in 1803, Suzanne, a grandson of Jean Baptiste, gained the financial security enjoyed by few African Americans at the time.
So come to the window.
Oh my. Who might you be visiting today? So as you can see here, this is expanding the trade partnerships, sharing the wealth from the Native Americans. These are just some of the value products of trade that the Native Americans would trade with each other or with other tribes. In colonial St. Louis, money rarely changed hands as people bartered goods and services for the things they needed. It's like all these in the tomahawks, pipe tomahawk, tomahawk French, Indian War period. Trade beads, trade crosses like you see on the board. Silver tinkler, glass beads. And they were manufactured in Merano, Italy. And also some of the pottery that the Native Americans made. They were handmade. Some of the pottery here. Metal file knife blade, trap spring, butt plate knife, bottom of copper kettle. Rivers were the first superhighways. It's like a canoe. What was a parage? A parage was a dugout boat and a giant log of the first growth timber between 1765 and 1790. Farmers in the Ohio River Valley grew surplus crops. Used flatboats to transport goods down Mississippi to New Orleans. Here we can look at different people from around the world that came to St. Louis. From slavery in colonial St. Louis and free person of color. And some of them colorblind. Interesting. Spanish citizens owned houses, land, and businesses. They could travel freely, not restricted as to where they could live or shop. There you can listen to some music.
I just tried to wear red shoes once and I learned my lesson very quickly. Oh, really? Yes. It's very smart.
But so far as we get from the Native American and different tribes from St. Louis, houses began to develop across North America. But in St. Louis, very different house structures. They have very few public buildings here in St. Louis, aside from the church and some warehouses. The town was composed of private residents, built vertical logs like this house. The style was called post in ground. The French term is porte et terre. A few houses in the village were posts on a sill made of vertical logs resting on a foundation, kind of like this one right here. Especially by the wealthier citizens, was made of limestone masonry. the house types in St. Louis surrounding were very different than what a traveler would have seen in a village, Osceola Village, Santa Fe, Kentucky, or Virginia. During the late 1700s in the United States to the east, many people built their own houses. Some made simple log cabins of horizontally placed notched logs, style made popular by Swedish settlers. Others built timber-framed houses with vertical posts connected by pegged horizontal beams, like this one. And as we move forward into time and history, you can see behind me some of the Native American families that settled here in St. Louis, and also some of the teepees, or wigwams is what they were called, that some of the settlers, villagers of Native Americans settled in, which were like this one. And that's a big buffalo.
Wow.
In a war of cultures, American Indians pushed back.
We have to leave now. We have to leave now. I have about 15 minutes. Okay.
Wait, is she here?
Today, some American Indians live on reservations, while others live in cities and towns. Across the country, tribal groups work to preserve their languages, cultures, dances, and stories. Native tribes consider themselves to be sovereign nations. There are over 566 federally recognized Indian nations in the United States. Just like the American buffalo, a sharp rifle. This is a sharp rifle that would shoot down buffalo. And this is the different body parts of the buffalo. Since we have the bladder, the blood, hooves and bones right here, horns, brain, tendons, hides with fur left on it, and meat. So we have the different types of buffalo, as we have the American Indians that which hunt, and the hide hunters, which hid behind different trees and sometimes bushes. They would hide, and then they would have this. Well, some of them would. A lot of them had bow and arrow, and would shoot the buffalo hidden behind brush. That is huge. Of course, now we're moving on to the new frontiers. And my favorite, the railroad. Hey, Neil. The railroad is very...
Down to my people.
Where?
The Indian.
Oh. Yeah, I talked about that.
Oh, that's cool.
There we go. So the railroads, during the Civil War, they used trains. Railroads speeded up settlement in the West. I know, I was looking at the word speeded. I didn't know if that was a word or not.
Yeah.
I was like, usually you would say railroad sped up settlement in the West. That makes more sense. Speed it up.
Yeah.
They sped it up.
That's funny.
In 1869, Transcontinental Railroad was completed with the Golden Spike. And where was that? Was it Utah?
I guess in Missouri, since that's where we are.
Wouldn't have been completed here in Missouri. It costs $150 to travel across the country. Dadgum, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was in 1863.
Imagine that.
I'd be on a train in a heartbeat. But for the Americans, the Great Western Sweep was the national epic. There's some of the items they would carry on the train. These are railroad rails once used on the St. Louis levee. Ooh, look at the grooves in here. Wow. The grooves and the holes that were used. That's how much trains would travel on right here. There's so many grooves. Riverfront Railroad shifted the heart of St. Louis. Change of changes was on the levee. Half a dozen sound sleep steamboats used to see a solid mile of wide, awake ones. Mark Twain of 1883. Trains carried passengers and goods directly to the booming business district to the west of the river. City's focus shifted on the riverfront to rail yards. The age of steamboats was coming to an end. Riverfront fell into decay. By 1930s, most warehouses near the river, once so crucial to the city's commerce, were second-rate storage sites. Most retail business relocated to other neighborhoods. Less than 175 people still resided on the riverfront in old tenement buildings. The riverfront, once the pride of St. Louis, became one of the most neglected sections of the city. Who was affected by the railroad? Between 1860 and 1890s, transcontinental railroads rapidly expanded westward, permanently changing the lives of many people along the way. What were affected?
Hey, Spencer.
Dang it. Yes.
Spencer, we're collecting in the gift shop at the end. We gotta leave in like 5 minutes.
Okay. So this is kind of what it would look like here, is the in the back of a train car. This is the back of the train car that would be used, as you can see, the Missouri Pacific Railway was used back during the Transcontinental Railroad. So, no known fact, we started here in Missouri, has now landed us into the old Cowboys. Buster by Frederick Remington. Alright, got my souvenir.
I don't know, but that one looks better.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Ooh.
I feel like giving this to them and buying one for myself.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I like either one
But
of them.
I don't find...
I like that, though. That's cool. Gateway Arch National Park. How much was it? Look on the bottom.
20.
Yeah, no. I'm alright with
Let me
that.
save my money.
Yeah, I'm saving mine. That's a snow globe there. Of course, here is the arch. Here. Grand staircase. There it is. Old Cathedral. Where are you at? Old Cathedral should be around here somewhere. Courthouse. There. North Pond. Right here. North Gateway. There it is. Oh, there it is. There's the old cathedral right there. Alright, so as we close out the Museum of Natural History here below the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, Missouri, we will see you all in Nashville in just a few hours from Bridgestone Arena, the home of the Nashville Predators national hockey team, where we'll be meeting up with some friends and having dinner together as one. From St. Louis to Nashville. See you all in a few hours as this SpenVenture continues on our way home.